But the Jews got the offer, and the Jews said, yes, we'll do it. The Arabs got the offer and said, no. And so in 1948, May 14, 1948, Israel announces independence. For the first time in 2,000 years, the Jews are back in their homeland as an independent state. The next day starts the War of Independence for Israel, where 5 armies attack the newborn state. From the south, Egypt; from the east, Jordan; from the northeast, Syria; from the north, Lebanon; and a little more from the northeast, Iraq send troops as well. And this is on top of all the Arabs that live inside the land. To be honest, that should have been the end of this dream of a Jewish state, that war. Militarily speaking, there is no good explanation of how we still exist today. God intervened during this war, made something that would have looked completely impossible and made it possible. Think about this. Holocaust survivors coming back to the land, living this horrific situation in Europe, and they come into the land and are given a gun and they immediately go to fight. Holocaust survivors. 1% of the Israeli population died during that war. I mean, think just number-wise, like comparing it to where we are here in the States. 1% of the population dies in this war. But Israel wins this war. Not only Israel wins this war, but Israel pushes the enemies from where the pink lines are to where the black dotted lines ended up. So being able to push everyone, get a little land, get a little bit of a break from these tiny, narrow spaces that were designed in the original plan. And Israel offers the Arabs who lived in those cities that were in the pink areas a deal. And the deal was very simple. If you agree to let us live, if you agree to recognize our right for existence in this land, we will make you equal citizens of the state of Israel. And some did. Some didn't and left into Jordan and Egypt. The map on the left is what Israel looked like after 1948 and all the way until 1967. And what I want you to notice is a couple things. If you go to the south, to the left side of the map on the south, Egypt rules this land, the Sinai Peninsula, and specifically on the top of it, Egypt rules over the city of Gaza. Gaza is an Egyptian city from 1948 to 1967. Okay, I repeat because that's really important. Gaza is a city under Egyptian rule. It's an Egyptian city all the way until 1967. The people in Gaza are called Egyptians until 1967. When you go to the West Bank, as you can see, the right borders of Israel, that's the Jordan River. You can actually see a small lake up top, that's the Sea of Galilee, and the Jordan River flows from the Sea of Galilee and goes down to the larger lake that you see. That's the Dead Sea, and it's the Jordan River that separates Israel and Jordan, and the West Bank is the West Bank of the Jordan River. Okay, that's the area that's called the West Bank because it's the area that sits on the West Bank of the Jordan River. And who rules that land? The state of Jordan. The state of Jordan rules it, and the people that are living in there are called Jordanians. And that's the situation until 1967. Jordan rules more than half of Jerusalem, including the holy city, the old city of Jerusalem, including the Temple Mount, all in the hands of Jordan. Egypt controls Gaza. The people of Gaza are Egyptians. The people of the West Bank are Jordanians. And in 1967, Egypt, Syria, and Jordan plan an attack on Israel, and in one of the greatest military wars in history, in 6 days, Israel not only defends itself, but pushes Jordan to the east side, to the east bank of the Jordan River, pushes Egypt all the way down to the west side of the Suez Canal. You see that on the left, on the right map. You see the Suez Canal, meaning taking the Sinai Peninsula whole. Sinai Peninsula, just so you know, is 2 times the landmass of Israel. Okay, tripled our land during this war, and pushing the Syrians away from the Sea of Galilee, because they had some of the shores of the Sea of Galilee, pushing them beyond the Golan Heights, meaning taking the strategic height, strategic point from the Syrians.